We're doing TSM Dignitas from week number 5. Obviously, we're getting a rematch coming up here. So that'll be, you know, we want to see exactly what happened in the series. See if Dignitas can replicate their success. It is the 5 versus the 6 seed. Dignitas actually... Oh, really? Really? Come on. Come on, Windows. But we'll see what happens here. Dignitas actually took the 5 seed. TSM is the 6 seed coming into it. Doesn't really matter in the long run. They have the same thing going on. But, yeah, let's see how the series went. We're going to watch mostly from autocam perspective just to get some idea of what is happening. We'll go to player perspectives when we can. So, pretty poor play, obviously, by Ignite. He was going backwards on the wall, so it's awkward. I'm not really sure why he's going backwards on the wall here. He's got Remco and Mets on the rotation. I think he was a little worried that if Untitled just shoots this quickly, that Remco or Mets might not be able to get there, so he decided against going up the wall at first. But Untitled kind of faked it back up the wall, which was a nice play by him. And that basically made it extremely awkward for Ignite. And the best part is, when someone misses a ball like that on the wall, usually his teammates are not going to realize that he was backwards because of that fake and all that stuff. So no one else is going to go up. Metsonoris does just barely get the save. But it's a really nice play by Violent Panda for that fake back into the corner. Actually, I want to look at Violent Panda's point of view on that to see how on purpose it was. Because those are always fun to look at. Because these are the small plays that really count. Like, it was pretty on purpose. He had 0 boost. But look at this. 0 boost. And look at this control. He actually lands. He's trying probably to land, hit the ball, and also grab boost, but he just barely misses the boost. But he does make a nice pass into the middle here, just to apply some pressure on 0 boost. And that's what we want to see from Violent Panda. I feel like he's been playing pretty bad this season, continuing, honestly, from that World Championship, where he did not have a great World Championship either. So, like, Dignitas needs Violent Panda to step it up. And that was a good first play, at least, to see how it goes. See, Turbo just trying to keep it awkward there for Ignite. Right now, not too much going on besides that first play. Now, Violent Panda again has space. Kind of fakes the flip reset a little bit here. He could boost underneath this ball, but Metsonoris reads this the whole way. But at least Violent Panda is behind it. So it just pinches out to the side. Ignite wins the challenge, though, over, who was that, Yukio? And it was a pretty clean win, too. So maybe not the best play from Yukio, but it was hard to see exactly where he's coming from. Turbo beats out Remco. They're going to have defenders, though. It's not the end of the world. And Remco gets the tip out. Just to relieve a little bit of pressure. Alright, Ignite throws it deep. This is Turbo versus Ignite. Turbo easily wins it. Remco is trying for a pass here, I guess. But it's a little bit difficult because from his perspective, like, this is throwing out really hard. Like, Metsonoris immediately, like, he's not trusting necessarily that Remco will hit this well because of how fast Turbo hit it. So I think Metsonoris just wants to get back. As soon as that happens, Remco's kind of left with nothing. Like, if we look from, like, his side of the field, like, there's nothing here. There's no pass opportunity. Ignite is hunting for boosts and hunting for demos. So Remco, the only thing he can really do here is do a really hard high clear and hope for the best. But he actually hits it kind of weak. It turns into a pass for Dignitas. But honestly, no matter what, because of how hard Turbo hit that ball, this was going to be Dignitas' ball either way, because Remco has no pass options. Unless he hits it extremely hard to his left to get it to Ignite. But he would have to hit it into his own half. He could have done that, but it would have been a little bit harder to do. So, Violent Panda gets a free play here. Tries for the pass to Turbo, but they just barely don't connect on it. But they keep possession for now. Turbo pass Ignite. And now a good clear here. So Ignite doesn't get that first challenge, but he stays available for Metsonoris. But Yukio, really good dunk there on that pass. Unfortunately, Remco does beat out Turbo. And they get the clear. Let's see. Everyone falls back for TSM. That's usually what they do. That they're not going to pressure too hard in these corners. Remco leaves to grab that boost. And Metsonoris is there. Pretty easy midfield challenge here. And Violent Panda doesn't really do anything with this ball. Like, at all. It could have been a much better play, but I think he's got very, very limited boost. So that's all he's got left in the tank. So Metsonoris can keep control. But the problem is Metsonoris, with all that control, he's got to worry a little bit that if Violent Panda has boost or not. And we'll look real quick. Yeah, he has 0. He should have known he had 0, though. And Metsonoris goes up more for a 50-50 than an actual possession hit. And because of that, and since Violent Panda can't actually hit this ball, it turns into just a free possession back for Dignitas. So that's just one where you have to try and read the boost of the other team and try and do something better with it, which probably would have been just shooting it above him and at least putting it around the walls or in the corner to force Turbo to have a harder clear. So then Yukio just gets an easy clear, throws it deep in the corner where no one is. Ignite was, I guess, waiting for the boost in the other corner, but he does make it around just in time. We'll see Violent Panda, another big clear. Right here, like, I'm not a big fan of this play because he's got Yukio. Yukio cuts in here, and Violent Panda could easily try and do something with Yukio here where, like, if he puts this ball in front of him, like, right in this space, then Yukio can deflect it, and it'd be a very difficult save. Like, there's nothing going on here, and this is a golden pass opportunity for Violent Panda. Instead, Violent Panda just throws it off the wall, which is not great, because then it just goes right to Remco. So, let's look back on him. So Yukio cuts, like, right after grabbing that boost, and maybe Violent Panda didn't know if he would cut in time, but that's one of those things that Dignitas kind of usually strives on, of, like, knowing where people are going to be for passing lanes in past seasons. So right here, not the greatest play. And he had enough boost to drop this down for Yukio. So Yukio has to just bail on this right away, and it turns into a pretty easy clear for Remco. And we'll continue. Oh, God. Oh, boy. We don't... I think that's what we want, right? Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. So the easy clear. But again, Remco, this time he has passing lanes. He has Metsonoris on his left. And maybe he's worried that Yukio is going to intercept this, but Yukio's leaving. So Remco just throws it forward, though, way too much. And now Metsonoris can't get to this ball. And they lose possession. So right now, it's just a lot of both teams not getting the passes that they need to teammates and losing possession. So nothing too crazy happening here. This is a decent fake by Turbo. I'm pretty sure it's on purpose fake. Or actually probably not on purpose fake. He's probably trying for this weird deflection right here. This is how close he was to hitting it. But the best part about these is, like, if you don't hit this weird deflection, it turns into still a center opportunity. So it's not the worst case to try for this, because if you miss, it's actually pretty good for your team. And Yukio gets a free shot here, but Yukio's not expecting it either, which is a little surprising. He had a little bit more time to work with here as well. But he's playing more for Turbo's hit than anything. So I think he thinks Turbo's going to hit it off the backboard for a pass, so Yukio is trying to line up that angle. So as he lines up that angle and as that whiff happens, he's not ready for just the normal center out into the mid, so he's just got to kind of rush it. So it doesn't work out. But that's a little miscommunication too there, where between Yukio and Turbo, where Turbo was trying for that fancy shot or fancy back pass where it goes into the center instead of just right off the wall. So those are ones that maybe, if possible, try and call that, like, you're going to center or not, but it's obviously very difficult with just, like, a 1 second window to do so. Like, that's the hard part with comms. Like, people say, like people don't talk a lot in Rocket League comms, or as much, because you basically just have to react to things, because you don't have enough time to call what you want to do, because you have to do it within that second. So it's very, very difficult. Nice pass here from Turbo. Good save again by Mets. Came up big there. Nice trap there by Turbo. And he forced his eye up, but good save, good save. And those are, like, so far the only few chances, like, Diggs had. They've had, like, what, 2 scoring chances? Realistically, yeah. I hate this replay stuff. It takes up my scoreboard button. Not a fan. They have 4 shots total, but basically 2 scoring chances so far. And TSM's just really done nothing, honestly. They haven't controlled possession. Here we go. Finally, Ignite. Kind of out to Remco. I don't know why Remco turned this way, but it did work out for him. He really wanted that boost, I guess. And then he almost gets that pass out. But again, they're throwing the ball maybe a little bit too far forward. Like, Remco, this is, what, the 3rd time now that he's throwing the ball just forward instead of trying to hold possession on the defensive side of the field. And maybe that's a little bit of nerves, or just worrying about, you know, like, if you pass back in your own defensive end and there's a 50-50, you never want a 50-50 in your own end, because if a 50-50 goes bad, then it's the perfect pass for the other team. If a 50-50 goes well, it turns into a clear. So it's like goal versus clear. So that's why you normally don't want 50-50s in your own end. But, yeah. Am I reviewing G2 versus C9? Probably not. I probably just don't have enough time for this week to do that. I would like to. I might do it at some point. I don't know. What I'll probably do for G2 C9 is I might actually review that post-regionals. Because we're going to have a lot of time to review a lot of different series at that point, because we'll have a little bit more time before the World Championship, so we'll probably do it then. But I don't have enough time to do it for a video this week. Sorry. Alright, we'll continue. Yu-Gi-Oh! Just kind of throwing a shot on net. And again, like, this isn't a terrible idea right here. Because, look, Remco and Mets are both right here. So, once you beat that second player, then even if you throw a weak-ish shot on net, like, his shot was actually still relatively good because it was high. So, Ignite can't control it as well as normal. But the best part is, like, Remco's out of this play. Metsonoris is out of this play. So, Ignite, literally all he can do is just throw away possession here. Not much else he could do. Turbo doesn't get the greatest touch on that wall, but almost still made it back to it. But this is a nice patient play by Remco. Like, he knows he has time. Just waiting for that boost. And picks it up. But another boom and clear. Not too much going on for TSM. Metsonoris tries to center, but no one's there. Seems like Remco will, like, boom, clear, and then immediately go back for boost. Time and time again, so there's, like, no option available. Now, Metsonoris is by himself here. Nice little tap. Just to make sure you beat that one. You don't want that 50-50. Like, as a third man, you never want a 50-50 as a third man, so whatever you can do to deflect it by one is not a bad idea. You got it by one. Turbo's looking for demos. He gets the demo. But Ignite gets back just in time. Like, this could have been a goal. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Rushes it just a little bit here. And throws it just off to the side. Like, Ignite's obviously there trying to make a save, too. So, it's like he's kind of forced to make a play. But just barely misses here. Yeah, he honestly probably could have had it. Like, he timed this wrong. He has no boost, so obviously it's a little bit more difficult. And Ignite actually grabs that small pad. That small pad grab right here is actually so clutch. And is the reason why that this ball does not go in right here. So Ignite, he grabs that small pad. Like, if Yu-Gi-Oh! Grabs that, he has 12 boost. And he will be more patient on the play because he knows he can catch up to the ball. But because Ignite grabs just this one little small pad, I think that's why this is not a goal here. Because he feels like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Feels like he has to rush this. He thought the ball was going to come out a little bit more, so he jumped early. Once he jumps early, he can only time a flip at that point. Say he has 12 boost, he probably doesn't jump early. He probably uses his boost to catch up to the ball and then jump right before the shot. And he probably scores this. Like, Ignite might make that save, but it would have been a much better play for them. But because no boost, you have to try and force some things here or there. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Just a little bit of a mystery. Okay, once again, TSM has one shot on the board with really 0 scoring chances, I would say. Now, Dig, probably about 3 scoring chances where they could have scored. 2 were defensive stops. 1 was kind of just a misplay by Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, nothing too much even happening there, even when they have the ball close. Like, right now, TSM is like, the problem is they try and send all 3 behind the ball a lot. And then they feel like they don't have any passing lanes to come out a lot of times. And it just seems very flat right now from TSM. Not much going on. But it doesn't matter because finally they get a scoring chance here. Turbo tries to throw this across the net. He basically wants to throw this high. So this first touch got away from him. And Ignite gets that dunk. So let's go over to Turbo. And watch from his point of view. So Turbo. Like, he knows Ignite is going to be creeping on him here. So he tries to trap this on the wall, but he thinks he's going to be on the curve, I think, a little bit sooner. And then that trap would have kind of made the ball kind of die right on Turbo's car. And he could have just done a 50-50 and probably got it out. But instead, the ball just ricochets off. And Ignite wins that, and Turbo's trying to make up for it. He probably could have left it for VIP, which would have been a tough save, obviously. So he's just trying to make up for the play, and yeah, just not a great touch. And Metsonoris scores on that pressure from Ignite. So there you go, TSM, their first real scoring chance, I'd say, in this game, and they get the goal, and that's all that matters. Remco, nice little touchdown. See, look at this. Like, so I get it. They're up a goal, so I assume that TSM is like going to be a little safe, but like Ignite's creeping up on this play, which I'm surprised at. He should probably be back a little bit further. Like, I don't think there's a reason to be this aggressive. Like, hold that midfield line when you're up a goal with 15 seconds left, and then when that rebound comes out, one of them could attack and keep possession. Instead, because Ignite moves up this far, it basically means Ignite's got to rotate out and go for boost, and then Remco does not want to challenge this because he's the third man and doesn't want to take that chance. So it turns into a Dignitas possession here. See how all of TSM just retreats immediately. Like, Remco's literally in net already. He's like, all right, I'm going to be in net. 10 seconds left. I don't want to take the chance. But this opens up a pass and play here for Dignitas. Turbo just barely misses, and that's going to be that. But if Turbo hits that, it's going to be a lot harder of a play. Let's go over to Turbo's point of view on this play. So he's creeping up maybe a little too far forward here. Just makes it, not really. Like, he could have had it. His takeoff was just kind of poor. He could have had the deflection. Honestly, like, no one's really in net there. Like, probably Remco makes that save. Or Metsonoris, I should say. But, yeah, he just barely misses it. But that's a play that TSM kind of gave them completely, which, like, I get being defensive with 10 seconds left, but you want to keep at least some form of challenges happening, which is basically means don't be aggressive so you can be aggressive in that midfield, if that makes sense. But it worked out. TSM gets the win, and we'll move over to game number 2. All right, what do we need? Ball and fly cam. There we go. Oh, we need to go back on the ball. For some reason, it always hops off of it. All right, game number 2. TSM up 1-0. The other important thing to note here is that going into the series, Dig needed 2 wins to make sure that when they played the Bricks, it was just winning it. Even if they got swept by TSM, they just needed a 3-1 win over the Bricks. So, in the grand scheme of things, for Dignitas, they weren't playing for as much. Obviously, they want momentum going into that final series. But TSM was playing for a top 4 spot here. So, they were playing for a lot more. But at the end of the day, they're both trying pretty hard. But, like it just goes to show, like, if you're thinking about coming into this weekend trying to pick TSM, it's like they had everything to play for last weekend playing Dig. It's not like they were playing for nothing, and they didn't get the job done. So, it's just something to keep in mind. All right, anyway, Remco right here just kind of throws it forward. Let's see what happens here. Throws it forward. It's an awkward spot for Von Panda there. And then Remco tries for the shot, just a little bit of a weak touch. And now the ball's just killed into this corner. Remco barely makes that play. So right there, it was one of the few times he's trying to be aggressive as the third man. And he just tips it away from Turbo. It could have been a wide open net, but good back pass there. Just keep control. But it'll just result in a clear, and TSM all falls back once again. Yukio around 2, and that's what you want to see. That's all Yukio right here. Well done by him. We'll go back. He's only got 37 boost right there at the start of that play. He pops over 1, and Remco tries for the bump, and then Metsonoris also comes up. And Ignite's just in no man's land here. Like, he honestly should probably be back. I guess he expected Mets to make the play, but that's a risky call. And now Ignite's kind of in no man's land. Good play by Yuki, though. Great pass out. And Dig takes the 1-goal lead. Okay, Remco keeping it in. Can't do a lot. I don't think he's got any boost. Oh, a little bit of bump plays. Remco's trying to get out of there. Finally he does. But Dig's just trying to get it out of their own corner as well. So now all Dig are back. Ignite's got a chance. Just throws it high. Yukio beats Mets again. It's the second time, and that's just a free goal. Free goal happens from that one. So Remco. So Ignite kind of hits that way too hard on the side. Metsonoris thinks he can win this challenge. And Remco is also extremely aggressive here. So they're both really, really aggressive. Like, right as this touch happens, like, Remco could turn around. Because at this point, it's Metsonoris or nothing. But he stays aggressive. Like, he's going for Yuki over here. I think he wants the bump or something. Not really sure. And then he eventually turns around. And it's just a very bad play by both Metsonoris and Remco to both be super, super aggressive there and not win the ball at all. Like, I don't mind Mets going for it as much. Like, I think Remco probably could have turned around a lot quicker because he was not really in that play at all. But Yukio gets a free goal. And Dig goes up 2. Off the kickoff, nothing really happening. Let's swing over here since the ball's going to be stuck on that side for a bit. MANNFIELD controls this ball, but he loses his jump on this curve, I believe. It sounded like he jumped. Could be wrong, though. Yep, he jumped right there. Lost it on the curve. Good old curve jumps. He had 0 boost, so can't really expect too much there. Hate those curve jumps, man. It's the worst. Like that, and when you're on the corners, man, and you try and jump, it's terrible. Yukio tries to feed this ball out to Turbo, but I think he gets an extra touch here that he didn't want. So this is a really good chance for them. Obviously, Metsanoris is the only one back. And they have 2 options here. They have Violent Panda on the further back pass, and Turbo's there for the goal line creep across, basically. But he just wasn't expecting it to be that hard. They had most things covered, just not that close to the net. So Yukio just got 1 extra touch in there that didn't really help. Ooh, extremely risky play here by Violent Panda. He got surprised a bit by the Turbo weak hit to ignite. So he tries to kill the ball, but basically all that does is just set up a pass and play for ignite. Over to Remco, but oh! Turbo Pulsa. What a play. What a hustle play here. Let's go over to him. He's just like, hey, Remco. See ya, Remco. Takes him out. Beautiful play there by Turbo. The 3-time. And hey, man, everyone's talking about how Vitality's had such a good season, you know, the K-Dop effect and all that. Like, if Dig has a good run in these playoffs, they will play Vitality. What if Dig beats Vitality in that semifinal? Does that change the perspective of everything? Who knows? Who knows? That'd be nuts, though. All right. We'll continue. Yukio, a good idea for a pass. Problem is both... See, the problem is when you do such a great pass that both your teammates go up for it, it turns into a bad pass. So this pass, like both Turbo and Violent Panda think that they have a chance at this ball. This probably should have been Turbo going up, not Violent Panda maybe, but Violent Panda does go up faster. So, hey, what can you do? Problem is they both get beat. That's always the worst, is when you have a double commit and you both get beat anyway. So this turns into a wide open net, and that's just a bad play. Like, probably I would have said Turbo go up for it because Violent Panda can see Turbo. So I would have rather seen him go for it and have Violent Panda sit back, but hard to call who's to blame. But either way, we'll just blame Yukio for too good of a pass for both of them to go up. But a double commit like that where you don't even get a touch on the ball is going to turn into a goal 9 times out of 10 in the RLCS. So it's one thing Dig has had a hard time this season with. Still that communication on those double commits and all that. But they were playing in, I'm not sure exactly where they were playing, but they were playing in some Dignitas headquarters somewhere. So all 3 of them were together for the first time this season. And it seemed like it helped them, for sure. See, Violent Panda, just a small tap. He's basically doing the small tap to, like, maybe he was trying for a pass to Yukio at first, but maybe he didn't realize he was backwards. So that's why Yukio bails on this. But at least this small tap turns into him having a chance for a 50-50. And that demo was just icing on the cake there. And he gets a good 50-50 out to Turbo. Turbo honestly probably should have scored this. Not a great touch by Turbo. Let's go over to him. Yeah, he goes for the flip reset. Not sure if that was really needed. Honestly, I think he could get on top of this ball and hit it bottom left corner. Probably, and beat out Remco. Maybe. But maybe he thought he didn't have enough time, so he's trying to beat him out by going off the wall. It was a good idea. It almost works, but Remco obviously is there now because there's so much more time. But I thought he could probably just power shoot that in. Maybe got a little too fancy. Panda throwing it deep. Ignite. Oh boy, Ignite. Where are you going, buddy? Luckily, no one was there. There was no threat. The pass from Remco out, but just a little bit behind Metsanoris. Like, I like this idea. We were talking about in game number 1 how Remco wasn't really passing. But that was a decent idea, just a little bit behind Mets, so it just took too long to develop. Can't get anything going. Another double commit here, Yukio and Violent Panda this time. And honestly, this is Violent Panda's ball, just for the simple reason that, like, 2 players from TSM are over on this left side. So let Violent Panda have this. There is no one challenging. And honestly, they probably should have known that. I'm going to go over to Yukio and see if he should have known that, just by his perspective. So we see Metsanoris. He knows he just flipped back there. Yeah, he definitely knows there is no one available here. So this is not a great play by Yukio because he's also going back on this ball where he can't get any power on it. When you have Violent Panda plus Turbo there who could get more momentum behind a hit, and it's non-threatening. Like, this is a non-threatening situation. No one's flying up for this. So not the greatest play to give back TSM the ball by Yukio. But luckily TSM really doesn't have much going on. They still have possession because of this, though. So we'll see how long they hold it. Right now, it's just Dignitas is in bad spots to try and get a good power clear, and TSM's keeping the ball elevated enough so they can't get it. Nice pass out though by Yukio to Turbo. A little bit of a weak shot, so Remco's able to dribble this out, and the ball out to Metanoris as well. And Metanoris has a lot of space here, but just can't really do anything with it. Turns into just the ball right to Turbo. Good challenge there by Turbo. If Yukio can beat Mets there, that would have been big, but Mets, good dunk. And good back pass. That's what you want to see from TSM, but Violent Panda beats out I there. Now this is trouble. Good save by Mets, but it might not be enough. It definitely just barely is, because Violent Panda, I'm not sure what happened here. Let's go over to him. Oh, he's trying for something here. He's trying for something fancy. Yeah, oh yeah, he completely misreads this ball. Oh, hot damn. That's a little rough. That could have been a golden opportunity for Dig to go up 3-2. Or 3-1, I should say. Instead, TSM gets possession, and now it's very, very scary. Yukio gets it out. Ignite's going to keep it in. Turbo doesn't have any boost, so this is dangerous. Yukio makes a good save, though. At least Turbo was blocking angles for trying to. Ooh, Ignite with the whiff. Luckily for them, Remco wasn't up too far here. That's kind of a rough play, but he wanted the boost. Let's see what they can do here. 5 seconds left. Metanoris out. Good pass, and there it is. The goal. So this play right here, let's go back a little bit. So Turbo throws it on net. That's fine. But Violent Panda is like creeping up really, really far. And again, with 10 seconds left. Kind of dangerous here. He goes up. He actually does make the challenge happen. And on a double commit, it's not terrible. But the problem is it lands to Remco. And now at this point, like, because Turbo's also upfield, it's basically a 1v1-ish for a little bit. Like, obviously, Turbo does get back just in time. But now all of TSM are forward. And Turbo and Violent Panda are trying to rotate back in to play defense, but they're not in a good defensive position. So they have to give up position by rotating back to net, which leaves this wide open in the middle. And then because of that bump attempt on Yukio by Ignite just before that, leaves that wide open, and then Ignite gets the goal. It's just a little bit of a risky play to challenge in that midfield when Turbo's also upfield. But he was hoping he would have got a better touch, but it didn't happen. And good pass and play there. And TSM gets the goal. We're going to overtime. Almost Remco on the kickoff. Would have been nuts. That would have felt terrible for Dig, but they do get it back right on the kickoff. And that's unfortunate. That sucks for TSM. That's the worst way to lose. The one thing that I don't know why people do, like, so I don't mind going for boost on kickoff, and I know like a lot of like people say, you know, why go for boost anytime a kickoff goal happens? The only thing I don't like is when you go for boost on kickoff and you have someone cheat, but you don't rotate back to your net. Like, I feel like you should always rotate back to your net as that safety precaution. And then you get the boost and you can still play defense and you don't have to worry about like a free, like a wide open net basically. But when you turn up field, like sure, you could get some offensive play out of it. I feel like, but the risk is just too high on grabbing that boost that way. Like I would prefer them circle back into their net personally. But to be fair, both sides do the same exact thing. Like Turbo does that too. He also turns up field as well on the kickoff. So it's just how they both do it. But I always find that just to be a little bit risky because you just never want to give up that free goal. But, you know, I don't know. Like I feel like the odds are, or the percentage chance that you score because you rotate upfield rather than rotate back. I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough call. It's a tough call. All right, there it is. The kickoff goal. And Dignitas gets away with one there, I would say. Just a little bit. And they tie up the series 1-1. All right. Let's go over to the ball cam. And we get a 1-1 series. Volunpan off the wall with a whiff. Come on, Volunpan. What are you doing? So this is... All right. So I want to talk about this play right here. With Turbo. So if you guys were watching for game number 1, where he makes that mistake and the ball hits his card before he gets up on the wall, and it skyrockets away to ignite, and that's how they score. This is exactly what I was talking about, where Turbo, this time, very similar play, but he's up the wall first. You see how he's up the wall, and then the ball hits him, and the ball completely dies. That's basically what Turbo was trying to do in that game number 1. And this is completely different story. Now he controls it and is able to get a clear instead of hitting it to Remco, where he gets a chance to make a pass. Like he obviously doesn't get a full clear, but at least turns it to a 50-50, forces another guy out. But that's basically the difference from tapping the ball right before it hits the curve, or when his car is on the curve, to when he is on the wall. So that's the small little difference there. Save comes out. It's a little bit of a double commit save. Like, I don't mind this too much. Like, they're in a bad spot, obviously. Yukio kind of is just waiting to see what type of play that was. It's tough because there's 2 of them there, so it makes sense. But they safely put it into the other side, and Turbo's able to at least get a 50 there, or an attempt at a 50. And the problem here for Remco is he can't really do much with this ball because he knows it's going to be 50, so he tries to throw it wide. I think he wanted to roll it up the wall a little bit more, then pop it out because it just turns into a Dignitas counterattack. Ignite, a relatively weak touch here, but it works out. Maybe he's trying to control it so when he lands on the wall, he could jump off, but the ball was just a little bit too far away. But it's okay because there's no one else from Dig there yet. Yukio wins that ball out, but there's no one really available. Von Panda is just trying to make Remco make a move early here. Like, basically what he wants is Remco to make a move and force it into Turbo. The problem is he's kind of in no man's land. Like, he doesn't... Like, Remco's not going to have much of a chance. Maybe Von Panda is playing for the Yukio demo. But Remco, again, here... The one thing I don't like, and we talked about this in game number 1, is he just throws it down midfield. Once again, when he could have hit Ignite, at least made Ignite turn around and have a 50-50 chance. We'll go over to him. On this play, he has a little bit more pressure on him, so I get it. But he knows Ignite's to his left, and he throws it to the right, which I'm not a big fan of. But, you know what? Scratch that. I forgot that this was a goal. So there you go. It works out. But I thought Turbo would be closer. I still don't really like the play all that much, but hey, you know what? This is why I'm not a pro. This is why I'm not a pro. He beats out Turbo anyway. Let's see what happened with Turbo. But I'm surprised he doesn't throw this ball over to Ignite, try and keep possession. But he's fast enough. He's a fast little boy. Yeah, Turbo. Oh, wow. Okay, so Turbo's really creeping far back here. This play, if Turbo just turns right now, I think he's worried a little bit about Ignite, but doesn't realize that Ignite has no play. But he turns extremely late for that ball. And it turns into just no chance there. So I would say more of a Turbo mistake than a good play by Ignite. But I'm just trying to save face. You know, that's it. So Remco gets the goal. So, and yeah, you know what? I guess if you just throw it down middle once in a while, it's going to work. Nice pass here by Turbo. Good cutoff by Ignite. But it keeps possession here for Dignitas. Metsunores tries to get this pass out, and this is another play where I feel like TSM has just had a little bit of a hard time connecting on these passes from the defensive side. This is a little harder because he doesn't know exactly where Ignite is. He jumps a little bit earlier. I'm going to go back here real quick. I guess he's a little worried that Turbo might be kind of flirting around for this deflection, so he goes up super early. And because of that, he kind of just has to throw it out. But throws it just a little bit too far, and then Turbo gets it over to Violent Panda. So this is a good pass. Try and keep possession, but good challenge there by Remco to get that clear. That was a big-time play. Nice double tap by Turbo, and gets the 50-50 by Mets. That's huge. But Ignite, a great control here on this wall. Instead of trying to hit this ball hard, He controls it and gets it around Turbo, which is always a plus, and turns it into a 50-50 with Violent Panda. Now, obviously, a 50-50 is pretty dangerous, but his teammates are rotating back at this point, and he kind of has to. He has to waste time as much as he can, and he actually gets a pretty good 50-50 too. So he gets the clear. On a play where Dignitas has a lot of offensive pressure there, he mitigates it pretty well. See where Violent Panda goes. This is not the greatest ball either by Violent Panda. These plays are normally what Dignitas excels at in previous seasons, where he knows that he has Yukio on the other wall, and he kind of just throws it forward. Like, I think he's just trying to throw it over Ignite to apply that pressure. Maybe he feels like he didn't have a chance at getting that pass over to Yukio. So instead, because he knows that Ignite is creeping forward, as long as you hit it high and hard, it's not bad. And he does hit it pretty high and hard to force Ignite into a tough spot, which turns into a pass eventually to Yukio. And it turns into a goal, so there you go. But, like, in the past, I feel like Violent Panda would try and hit Yukio on the sidewall over here, because that's where Yukio is. But I think he saw that Ignite was creeping maybe a little too far forward. Throws it high. Also, he double jumps down to the ground to be able to be part of that next play. And Yukio does a really good pass down to him, so works out. Because that's the thing like you want, is either a high hard clear, where you make someone fly to it, where they have to basically hit it backwards or hit it in a like an awkward way, or the pass to your teammate. So always do one of the two. You're doing okay. You're doing okay for yourself. Awkward play here. Ignite barely missing there. So close. Like, I get what he's trying to do. It's a good fake. And fakes are usually just circumstance. Like, he knows he can fake this. Like, obviously, Violent Panda, terrible hit. So he knows that he has a chance to fake it. The one thing he could have done, maybe, like, obviously, he goes for the dribble flick. He could have actually probably power shot this anyway. Just delayed here. Like, instead of boosting as close, maybe delay a little bit, then boost and shoot it. But obviously, then Yukio might not fall for that fake. So Yukio dives across. And that's, like, never really to blame on the player that gets faked a lot of the times. Like, that play, Yukio has to go for that. There's really nothing else he can do. Unless he, like, guesses right. But you basically have to die for it. There are some fakes where it is the player that got, like, faked's fault. But a lot of them are just circumstance. And you're just like, well, crap. Now I have to go for this. Remco with the hard clear. Well done there. And Turbo's really far forward. That almost turned into a goal. Nice little dribble. Got around one, but not the other. It's always hard to do to beat two players. This is a risky play here by Yukio. Throws it to the same wall. Like, Turbo's out of position. Violent Panda's out of position. Like, if Remco gets a tap on this, super dangerous. But luckily, it just got around him. Metsuro's trying for that center, but Yukio reads it really well. Nice play there by Yukio, trying to force Ignite to do something, but Violent Panda kind of late on this play. Like, Turbo's trying to be kind of aggressive, and I think this is a little bit of a miscommunication. Violent Panda just checks his brakes there for a second. Oh, it's because he has no boost. Okay. I thought he would have boost in that corner, but he couldn't get the boost, so he had to wait on it. 12 boosts is not going to get you a lot on a play like that. Metsuro's trying for that center off the ceiling. But Yukio, again, good read. Ignite in the middle here. Good play by Violent Panda. Just cut off the angle. It's super dangerous, though. So, like, Turbo went up for a late challenge. And, again, like, that's that 50-50 when you're on offense versus defense. It could just be extremely scary. But Violent Panda made the choice to go for it. Paid off for him. Ignite, good pass out. He gets it away from the wall, which is really smart because he knows obviously Violent Panda is going to be near it. He also hits it to the left side of the wall, so Violent Panda just takes longer to get there. But the ball pops out perfectly for Metsuro's, but Metsuro's just gets a weak shot on this. This probably should have been a goal from Mets. Yeah, he's just a little bit too close. Just creeping. Just a little bit too close. It's because of that wave dash, honestly. Like, that wave dash probably kept his speed up a little bit too far. Almost gets it anyway, but Turbo makes the save. See what Turbo can do here. Not too much. Remco with a good read. Metsadorus was creeping forward hard on this play, too. He, like, leaves the net completely, expecting Remco to win it. Which makes him just have to rotate back around. Now he has to fly backwards for that touch. And he also got bumped out because of it. But luckily, Remco gets the save. And again, a relatively weak shot here from Violent Panda this time. Let's go over to his view. He probably could have put more power on this shot. More oomph. Yeah, he actually goes for, like, the wheel touch. Kind of a strange decision there instead of going for the harder shot. That one could also have been a goal. So, some scoring chances being thwarted by relatively weak shooting by both teams. TSM going for another bump play. What was that? Remco again, I believe. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was Ignite this time. So one thing I haven't seen from Dig a lot is we haven't seen a lot of demo opportunities or a lot of plays. Violent Panda here almost gets this nutty shot. So close, and I believe they score right after this anyway. Yeah, there it is. Turbo with the goal. Violent Panda super close, though, but it's a good play. Oh, just barely misses. And Yukio also dives for it, but they send all three. They send the house on that. Well done by them. Well done by Turbo to get this play. Score that goal. Remco almost makes that save. But doesn't happen. All right, Dig. They take the lead. Off a super solid double tap by Violent Panda. Oh, no. Almost turns into a goal there. A Turbo honestly probably should have scored this. Metsadorus creeping forward again. So this is on that boost where you turn upfield. Like again, I don't know. I'm just not as big a fan of that. But again, at the same time, Turbo does the same thing, right? So it's because of Turbo moving upfield that they get the scoring chance. So, hey, you know what? If it works for you pros, it works for you. I just don't like giving up free goals. Like, especially now when the defenses are so goddamn good. That, like, I just never want to give up a freebie. Alright, let's see. Violent Panda going up the wall. Really nice clear there, but Remco keeps it in. And actually, Ignite does win this ball out. Nice play by him. Keeping possession. Turbo, gets a little lucky on that dunk there over Ignite to clear a ball out, and they get possession back. Yukio, a little bit of an awkward spot here. Let's see what Yukio was thinking on this play. So get the tip out. I'm not sure what Yukio is thinking. I'm surprised he comes this far forward. And then... like, I feel like he went a little too far forward, so he had to bail a bit. But it was a little awkward. But Turbo gets the ball. Goes to the double tap, but Remco's there. And again, like, this play here by Turbo, too. Like, let's go back to him real quick. Just want to show, let's go to his view. Sorry. I always get the camera stuff messed up. I'm not a big fan of people trying to hit this off the back wall extremely quickly anymore. Because people defend this so easily. So, like, Remco here makes an easy challenge. Like, why not try and settle this down for a dribble play? Well, I guess it'd be really hard to dribble this because of where he is exactly. All right. You know what, Turbo? I get it. You basically had to throw it off the back wall. The only other thing I would say is try and hit this extremely high. Try and hit it off the curve of the ceiling because you basically are trying to beat Remco. The ball is trying to beat Remco to the back wall. That's basically your whole job here, is to try and force Remco to not be able to reach this ball in time. And he hits this a little bit low. Instead of trying to power shoot it extremely high and try and hit that curve off the ceiling where it could have turned into one of those golden opportunities. Instead, it just turns into a really, really hard clear. But that's basically what you want to do on the back wall is all you're trying to do is have the ball beat the defender at some point on the wall. And then you just hope someone else can finish off the job. And then your second alternative for like a game-winning strategy, obviously, is just hit it off that curve of the ceiling so it drops right in front of their net. And those are always golden opportunities, but it didn't matter. They keep possession here in this corner for long enough, Yukio's going to kill this, and we're going to game number 4. 1-0 game is all there is for this one. Pretty defensive series. It's also just scoring chances that these teams should probably be hitting right now that are not being hit. Right off the kickoff, Remco tries for a dribble. How much boost did he have left? He should have had enough boost. Maybe not. Okay, yeah, he had 0 here. Okay. The one thing I don't get, like, maybe it's just me, but this feels like he comes off this slow compared to what he could have got. But maybe it's because he's trying to conserve boost. But then he boosts. All right, hold on. I just want to see what their idea is here. But then he boosts afterwards. That's my problem with this, like, kickoff is, like, you could be up to speed with less boost if you do it earlier. But he's, like, boosting directly into it now, which wastes, like, a lot more boost. And then he just barely can't get around it because of the 0 boost play. But, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those is always that, like, very small details, like, could be the difference. But I don't know. Metsonaris tries for the shot. All 3 go for the save on Dig. It makes sense. But they do get it out just enough. Turbo gets the clear. And sure, like, this turns into a possession for TSM, but Dignitas basically needed it just to get the boost. But Ignite takes a really long time here because he's expecting that boost to show up, and that boost does not show up in time. So now he's like, well, crap, I have 7 boosts. So not the greatest from him just because he thought the boost would be there. But he did get the boost eventually. Panda trying to hit that curve of the ceiling, barely missing it. Nice play by Remco there. Hard save. Makes it happen. Nice play here by Turbo. Actually turns away from this immediately. As soon as that touch happens, he leaves. He bails. So he's able to make a chance on that play, but Ignite a good dunk. A little back pass here. Good demo there by Remco, but Metsonaris, I think he just runs out of boost again. No, he should have the boost for it. Yeah, he just whiffs. Maybe he's going for the dunk of Panda. That's the only thing I can think of here. Maybe? Nah, but like this is just a bad play. That should be a goal. Like Metsonaris should score that. Or at least put the shot on net where Yukio has to make the save. That's just a bad aerial. And again, I think both teams, honestly, are just having a hard time with their aerials. Compared to, like, when we see a Vitality play, you just don't see misses like that. Or you see, like energy play with, like, Justin and Garrett. Like, those plays are put home at this point. So, just kind of weak play, all in all. Nice idea here by Ignite. I think he's trying... Like, I think he wants the shot here, honestly. Let's see. Yeah, he's trying for the shot. He just can't get the angle. It's a very hard angle here where he has to get under the ball and turn around it. But it's a shot that he can make for sure. But it's very difficult. Some slowdown here. Yukio just trying to force this 50-50. Just trying to waste as much time as possible. He knows Turbo's upfield. Panda's rotating out. Smart play here by Yukio. Just to not even hit that ball towards Panda because there's too much of a threat where Ignite's there and Remco's lurking. It's better off just try and kill this as long as you possibly can to allow your teammates to rotate out. So smart play there. Ignite gets the clear. Panda trying to put that as softly as he can on that wall. Not an easy play. But he does hit the curve. Like, this is the most important part. He hits the curve rather than hitting it right off the sidewall. Because if that's hit off the sidewall, then Metsonaris gets a much better angle on this shot. But because he hits the curve, it kind of goes upfield. And it's also harder to read for Mets. And Mets doesn't get the best shot here. Has to, like, side flip off. And, like, basically fight off that ball. Instead of a clear shot. So, it's a good location on the wall to hit. Ignite misses this ball basically for the opposite reason. I think he thinks it's going to hit the curve, and it doesn't. It just hits the flat part, because, like, right there is where it changes, like a couple feet over. Where Ignite just is trying to ball chase it up the wall. Beat it with speed, but he can't get there. This play right here, honestly, I think Remco has a golden opportunity here to like do a power shot. Instead, Ignite kind of takes it away from him. And like, I don't know. Like, that's a play that Remco should probably call off Ignite on. And maybe call, like, an I got it. Not really sure. Would have had a much better opportunity. But Yukio throws it around to the side. But I'm not terribly impressed by either of these teams in this series. Like, I was thinking, like, coming into this, I was like, I think whoever wins this, obviously, there's a good chance that they make land. Because they got momentum going. They're very experienced teams in those very clutch moments. Like, obviously, TSM has titles. Dignitas has plenty of titles. So, like, going into a high-pressure series where they have momentum versus the other team that just lost is not a bad spot. But this series is not doing a lot for me in terms of what I would want to see. Turbo to Von Panda. This is a good play. Von Panda tries for the hard shot. Remco's there, though, for the save. But that play right there by Von Panda is huge. Let's go to Von Panda and see how he reacts to this ball. Such a good reaction. So tries for the hard low shot. Doesn't go in. And then look at that read to know to jump for that ball and deflect that in. Well done. Well done there. And good job by Turbo as well to set this ball up. He's trying to get that angle. Just barely misses it, but that's a really nice goal by Von Panda. And I believe that's the only goal of this game, so that's it. But yeah, going into the winner of this series would play the loser of like Triple Trouble PSG. Like, for experience-wise and clutchness, you would have to go with the Dignitas TSM. But like, obviously, both have had pretty poor seasons, and we'll see what they show this weekend. And obviously, they can do it, but I just haven't been very happy with the offensive output by either team when they have those opportunities. Like, shot location been poor for the most part, or just shot quality has been poor. And possession has been a struggle. Nice pass there by Turbo. Out to Yukio. And that's the type of plays that you want to see from Dig. Like, this is a very nice play. And it forces 2 up by TSM. But that's a really, really nice pass and play right there. And it keeps Dig having possession here. Von Panda trying for the demo, but he at least gets the boost, which is huge at this point. Boost starve is so important to just cancel out counterattacks. Smart play there by Von Panda to not jump for that ball and just force a 50. But here's a good pass, too, by Remco. Ignite, I think, just ran out of boost. Not really sure, or he's trying to do something fancy. No, he's just trying to do something fancy. Yeah, he just takes his time on this, and because he takes his time, Turbo's there to challenge it. Good pass by Mets, but Turbo again is there, so nothing too threatening. But it's starting to get pretty threatening, like, at this point. Yukio ball chased a little bit upfield too far. Yeah, that's a play Yukio should not be creeping up for. Von Panda pretty much as well. But Von Panda was in a little bit of a different spot. But still, both of them probably should have just rotated out. I get trying to put some virtual pressure on Remco. But when you both do it, that's a problem. So then it leaves Turbo there just to make a save. And luckily, nothing happens there. Good pass here then. Like, so at the end of this game, I feel like both teams doing a much better job on going for passes and trying to keep possession. It's just something we didn't see early on in the series all that much. Here's another one by TSM. Like, this game, they've been doing a lot of solid passes. But a little bit too late. Here's another one where it's pretty threatening, but maybe TSM just has to play with a down 2-1 in the series and down a goal. So all of a sudden, passes are doing well, that they're getting into threatening situations, but they just can't convert here at the end. Nice play by Von Panda. They're going backwards up the wall, beating out one, but Ignite's able to keep it in. Yukio, kind of a poor clear, but Mets can't really do a lot with it either. He tries to throw it off the wall, but Like, it hits the curve, and that's not a bad idea, but Turbo just reads it well. So good defense coming out from Dig here at the end, and they get the win. And that's the series. Dignitas, they take the 5th seed later on in the day by playing the Bricks. TSM, they had a chance for top 2, probably the best chance out of all the teams that were fighting. There was a, what was it, a 4-man race for top 2, and they wind up coming in 6th, actually. They fall below Dignitas and get the 6th seed. So we'll see Dignitas versus TSM this upcoming weekend, which is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Whoever wins that is still not in LAN. Like, obviously, only one of these teams can go to LAN, which is crazy. They then will have to play the loser of Triple Trouble and PSG, and whoever wins that will go to LAN. And I don't know. Right now, it's looking a little rough for both, but we'll see if they can surprise. But with that, that'll do it for this replay review. Thank you guys for watching on the YouTubes. Thank you guys for watching live on Twitch. And yeah, we'll see this rematch this weekend. It's going to be very, very fun. But goodbye, YouTubes.